Hello everybody, how are you? Hello everybody, how are you? It is time to start our day. It is time to work and play. Hello everybody, how are you? Hi guys, welcome. What do you think we're going to talk about today? We are going to talk about some animals, but specifically we're going to talk about animals that you might find at the zoo. Let's start off with a book together called A Trip to the Zoo. And there's an animal right there that you might see. Adorable little koala bear there. A Trip to the Zoo. Billy was a boy who loved wild animals. He read books about them. He watched movies about them. During vacation, Billy's mom had a surprise for him and his little brother Matt. It was a trip to the zoo. Billy and Matt were so excited. First, they saw a huge elephant. She was having her teeth checked. We just went and visited the dentist, didn't we? We talked about that. Did you know that animals, we talked about dogs and cats getting their teeth checked? Animals of the zoo need to too. It's very important that everybody takes proper care of their teeth. Then the elephant walked around slowly to let the children pet her. Her skin feels so hairy, laughed Matt. Look at the rhinos, Billy said. Their horns look very sharp, Matt replied. Billy told Matt that rhinos may seem clumsy, but they can run very fast. Look, those horses have stripes, said Matt. Those aren't horses, said Billy. They're zebras. Can you ride a zebra, asked Matt. No, zebras are wild animals. Here are some more striped animals, called Matt. Billy looked at the tigers lying under the tree. They looked so peaceful. It was hard for him to believe that tigers are fierce hunters in the wild. No stripes this time, Matt, Billy laughed. Giraffes have big and small patches. Matt was feeling hungry. I think the giraffes are hungry too, said Billy. Can you tell why he thinks that? What are they doing up there? They're chomping on the leaves of the tree. They can reach all the way up because of their long necks. There's my favorite. Next, they went to the ape house. Look, that gorilla is taking care of her baby. Can you see the baby she's holding? It was time to go to the sea lion show, but Billy did not want to go. He was staring at the gorilla's big nostrils, and if you look right here, they show a picture of her very large nostrils. The sea lion show was starting. The sea lion came up and touched a fish with his nose. Then he gobbled the fish and dove back into the water. Billy and Matt looked through the underground window at the pool. They watched a sea lion use his flippers to swim underwater. Then if you look in the little box this time, you can see a picture of his flipper. That's what he has coming out the side of his body instead of arms, and that helps him swim in the water. After lunch, they went to see the squirrel monkeys, second favorite probably for me. Where are they? Asked Matt. Look up in the trees, said Mom. They were running through the branches, and one was hanging by his tail upside down. Look, those koalas are climbing trees too, said Matt. Their sharp claws help them to grip, Billy explained. Hold on tight, baby koala, called Matt. All right, let's look at this one for a minute. Do you see the baby holding on tight to its mommy? And mommy is holding on to the tree. The mommy is climbing the tree with the baby hanging on her back. And if you look in the little box this time, you can see its sharp claws. When you look at those, you can understand how they can grasp the tree. They can dig their claws in and climb nicely. Some furry wallabies hopped by. They are like kangaroos, but smaller, said Billy. Watch me jump like a wallaby, said Matt. I wish we could take some animals home, said Billy. I'm afraid we can't do that, said Mom. But we can adopt an animal. That way we'll be helping the zoo take care of them here. It was hard choosing a favorite animal to adopt. Now, when we think of adopt, you think of bringing it home. I adopted Avery, my dog, and I brought her to my house. You can adopt a zoo animal, but you don't get to bring them home. You just help pay for their care. You pay the zoo some money, and you help take care of them. When they got home, Billy and Matt started making a thank you surprise for Mom. They made paintings of all the animals they saw. Now, said Billy, we have a zoo at home. And when we finish today, I'm going to give you guys a few ideas of ways you can create zoo animals at home, but we'll come back to that. First, let's listen to some animal sounds together and see if you can tell I've got to grab my paper here. See if you can tell what they are. We're just going to use our sense of hearing. You don't get to see them. You're going to use your ears and guess what they are. Are you ready? Here comes the first one. Listen carefully. Here it comes. Okay, any guesses what that one was? That could be a lot of animals. That growled like a lot of animals. That was a bear. You ready for the next one? Okay, here comes the next one. You know that one, I'll bet. Okay, which one do you think that was? That was an elephant. If you guessed elephant, you were right. Let's listen to the next one. Okay, guess what that one was? Who thinks they know what that one was? If you're not sure, I will give you a hint. It was the one that I said was my favorite. That was the gorilla. You ready for another one? Let's see if you know what this one is. This one you might not know. Any guesses on that one? That's a hippopotamus. I'm not sure that I've ever heard a hippopotamus in real life talking. That's what they sound like. Okay, one more. Ready? Here we go. Here's your hint for that one if you didn't get it. That was a roar. Who roars? Who's the king of the jungle that roars? That was a lion. Good job. You used your sense of hearing to identify the different animals without seeing them. Very good. Now, if you look over here, I have a couple of those animals for you to look at. I have a lion back here. Here's my roaring lion. And I have a hippo standing right over here. Look at all these friends of the zoo that are standing here together. Here's my hippo. Now you know what a hippo sounds like. If you notice, all of my guys have some blocks standing next to them because I was measuring them today. You could use Legos if you have Legos. I have these kind of connecting blocks. So see how they come apart and they go back together? I was using those to see how tall my different creatures were. So what animal do I have here? He's got the stripes like we saw in the book. He is a tiger. And at his belly, that's where I measured him, this is how many blocks tall he was. So let's count those. You ready? He was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks tall. Standing next to him is the lion that I showed you, and here's how many blocks tall he is. He's 1, 2, 3, 4. So who's bigger, the tiger or the lion? Let's compare. Here's the lion's blocks, here's the tiger's blocks. The tiger has an extra block. He has one more, so he's a little bit bigger than the lion is. Okay, next to both of these guys is my friend the elephant. We heard him talking too, didn't we? Let's see how many blocks it took to make him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's the biggest one so far. Let's compare. Elephant, tiger, lion. They're getting shorter if you go down to the lion, taller if you go up to the elephant. Okay, predictions for the hippo. You can see him there. Is he bigger or smaller than the elephant? Or is he the same? He might be the same measurement. Should we check? Let me remind myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks made my elephant. Let's see about my hippo. Set that down. You ready to count? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The hippo and the elephant were the same. And they're both bigger than the lion and the tiger. But now, who do I have left? He doesn't have any blocks by him yet. Do you think the giraffe will be more than 7, less than 7, or the same as 7? What do you predict? I predict he's going to be more. Should I stand this near him and see? If I go to his belly even, he's going to be more. Let's see. Excuse me, Mr. Elephant. Oh, yeah. We need a lot more. So, let's see. I have some blocks here. You know what? Let's go ahead and take these. We'll keep adding. Here's 7. Should I stack the whole thing on? Let's add those together. 7 and 7 blocks. That makes 14 blocks. Let's see. Do you think that this is going to be taller than the giraffe, the same, or shorter? Should we check and see? It's still too short. Okay, I'm going to have to borrow some blocks from my tiger. How many do you think I need? Look at this. How many more blocks do you think it's going to take to make the giraffe? I think 2, maybe 3. Should we check? Let's grab 2. Yeah, that's about right. That's a lot of blocks that it took to measure our giraffe. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The giraffe is the tallest at 16 blocks tall. And do you remember who the shortest was? That was our lion. I guess that was our tiger with 4 blocks. Anyway, let's see if we can put them in order. I think it was our lion, wasn't it? Yeah, they're about the same when you look at them like that. We're going to put them in order from shortest up to tallest. That's how I'm going to order those guys. Now, one more thing before we go. I want you to look at them. I want you to look at the giraffe. What do you see on him? Stripes, solids, spots. He has brown spots, doesn't he? Would you like to make a giraffe with some brown spots? I have just the thing. Let me grab my giraffe activity here. I have a piece of yellow paper because, you know, underneath his spots, he's yellow, isn't he? I have a piece of yellow paper. Now, to make the spots, I have a couple of choices. If you have dot markers, you can dot your yellow paper. If you have maybe a clothespin and a cotton ball, you could dip that into paint and make your own dot marker. You can color brown spots, but I have a more fun way that I want to do it. I have some bubble wrap from a package that I got, and I looked at that and I thought that looks like a giraffe spot, so that's what I'm going to do. I have black paint. I don't have brown paint, so I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to dip it into my black paint, and I'm going to not paint my yellow paper. I'm going to paint my bubble wrap. So I'm going to take my paint and I'm going to go right on top of my bubble wrap here, and I'm going to make sure I get the bubbles because that's what's going to give me my spots. I got to color that, and then I am going to stamp that. Whoops, I'm going to stamp that onto my paper. And I could get a little bit more paint and I could keep going. And then I could cut that into the, oops, excuse me, Mr. Giraffe. I could cut that into the shape of a giraffe if I wanted to. I could put horns on it. I could cut it in the shape of his face. I could do all kinds of things to make my giraffe there. So that was my giraffe, and he had spots. What about my tiger? What does he have? He has stripes. He has black stripes on an orange body. So guess what I have? I took a piece of orange paper and I cut it into the shape of a tiger's face, kind of. This is my tiger's face, and I put it inside of another box. The reason I do this is because it keeps the mess inside, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ping pong ball. If you have a marble or anything like that, you can use that instead. I'm going to take that, and I have a spoon here. I'm going to spoon out a little bit of my paint, and I'm going to just drop it onto my orange paper. Okay, just took a little spoonful. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the tiger's face here. Now, because he has black stripes, I would like to make stripes, but I'm not going to use a paintbrush. I'm going to use my ping pong ball. I'm going to start rolling it. It goes through the paint, and I can turn the box. That helps too. I keep rolling my ping pong ball through the paint. Sorry, I have to turn it away from you sometimes. But you can see it's starting to make stripes on my tiger. I could keep going for a long time and get all of that paint mixed all the way around. Oh, but I lost my ping pong ball. You could keep doing that, and you know what else you could do? What other animal has black stripes? A zebra, doesn't it? You could take a piece of white paper. Come on, ping pong ball. You could take a piece of white paper, put a little black paint in there, and you could roll around, and you can get a zebra that way. Now, I have one more thing I want to add to my tiger. I'm going to add some eyes. I have some googly eyes for him. Now, I didn't have to do a tiger face. I could have done a whole body. I didn't have to cut anything out. I could have just left an orange paper with black stripes and had a tiger that way. So far, you can make a, look at that. Now, doesn't that look like a tiger? You can make a giraffe using dot markers or cotton ball as a stamp, or you could use bubble wrap that you've painted. You can use stripes. You can use a ping pong ball or a marble to make stripes on a tiger or a zebra. One more way you can make an animal, and I think this way is a little bit more fun because I've misplaced it here. Here it is. Because it's whatever you want to be. It doesn't have to be an animal that you see in the zoo. It's your own creation. You can make your own animal, design your own guy. You want to see mine? I got my journal out. There's my journal. If you have one at home, you can pull that out. Otherwise, any piece of paper will do just fine. And I turned it sideways, and I created this guy. This is my guy that you would find in the zoo. He has 2 heads. Let's see, 1, 2. He's got a kind of a circle ear and a pointed ear and a circle ear. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eyes. And oh, he's got a couple of humps like a camel would. How many legs does my guy have? 1, 2, 3, and he's got a big fluffy tail at the end. And I decided he didn't need stripes or spots. He needed both. So I gave him stripes and spots. So that is my guy that you would find in the zoo. What will you create today? What kind of animal will you make? You don't have to stick to what I showed you. You can make an elephant, you can make a gorilla, you can make anything you want that you would find in the zoo. Have a great day. You know what else you can do before we say goodbye? If you have blocks, if you have Legos, if you have something like that, you can make some cages like you would find in the zoo. You can make a big open area and let the animals roam free. You can be as creative as you want to be today, and think about these different zoo animals. Maybe search for some more sounds. See if you can find some other sounds that zoo animals make. Maybe you can look some pictures up on the internet and see and learn more about zoo animals today. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.